before we get started on this video, you got any furries in the chat? Got any furries watching? Because if so, this one's for you. Welcome everyone back to another episode of Garby's Garage. I am your host, Garby Garblin, and welcome. I'm doing another one of these. I think this will be the 4th episode of these. So I've been going for about a month now, which is, I mean, hey, that's a better track record than I've been known for. So let's keep going. Really, really excited to do this one, guys. Like, holy shit. And you can maybe see some reasons on the packaging as to why that might be. But today we are taking a look at this guy right here. This is the 2004 Hot Wheels Mutant Biotronic Kingdom 20-car limited edition set. This was, like I said, released all the way back in 2004, so geez, 22 years ago now. This was released exclusively online on Mattel's storefront. I don't remember the exact website, but Mattel used to sell Hot Wheels products online in larger fashion than they do now, and sometimes they drop limited sets like this for sale. Now, before we get to the actual set itself, let me explain myself a little and explain what this is. So, back in the early 2000s, 2003, I would guess, Mattel held a contest between their 3 manufacturing plants. There was one in Hong Kong, one in Malaysia, and I don't know where their third one was. I can't remember. Point being, their 3 plants, they got into a design contest where basically each factory would make a 20-car set, design a 20-car set, and the winning set of those 3, Mattel would pick one winning set, which would be turned into an actual physical product with a 1 of 5,000 print run and sold. So part of the reason this set is called Mutant Biotronic Kingdom, the acronym for that is MBK, is because the Thailand factory, actually it was China, Thailand, and Malaysia. I think I got that right. Anyway, the Thailand factory was the one that won the contest, and that factory is known as MBK, or Mattel Bangkok. So, to sort of go with that theme, the name of the set is Mutant Biotronic Kingdom, which acronyms to MBK, Mattel Bangkok. Pretty neat lore there. The theme for this set, and why I mentioned the furries in the audience, is basically, what if these cars were all driven by mutant radioactive animal hybrids, human-animal racers? So each car in this set is designed after a specific type of animal. So this is the front of the box here. We'll start with that. You get the old 2000s Hot Wheels logo. Awesome glare there. Mutant Biotronic Kingdom across the front. The MBK logo, Mutant Biotronic Kingdom logo, there in the corner. You get a clear window with all 20 of the cars being shown off. At the bottom there, 8+, so I know some of y'all unfortunately can't play with this. 20-car limited edition set, 1 of 5,000. So like I mentioned, this set was only sold online and there were only 5,000 of them produced. So this is a bit of a rarity, but I didn't mention this yet already, but as tradition with my channel, every single one of these cars is a Hot Wheels fantasy casting. So while they are rare and were only made in, like I said, 5,000 units, they're not terribly expensive even today. Like, they're getting up in price, but they're not as expensive as if this was like a 20-car set of licensed cars from 2004 that would sell for probably thousands at this point, whereas this did not set me back thousands. I paid like, I think after shipping it was like $150. So not horrible, especially getting this from the States. So there's the packaging there. Like I said, there's limited edition 1 of 5,000 with the slingshot in this set used as the little artwork in the corner there. We'll take a look at the back of the box before I open this. And yes, I do intend on opening this. So you get the logo again at the top there. You get a little bit of lore here. If I can get it not in the light. It says centuries of toxic waste and chemicals have polluted the earth, affecting all animals' genetic codes and changing them into the mutant biotronic kingdom. So that's about all the lore they actually drop on you here. You get a couple character profiles here. So you get MBK profile of the Buller Arton driver, who drives Power Rocket in this set. He's born in Historyland. He is 36 years old, a male, standing at 8 feet tall, 400 pounds, with a mutation level of 8. Mutation level. That's very vague. I don't really know what that means, but sure. So there's the bull. You get this guy here, driving Turbulence. He's a unicorn from Middleland. He's 25 years old. Same. Also a male, 7 foot 2 inches. Is at 350 pounds with a mutation level of 6. And then finally, we get the Hammered Coupe driver, Dragon Legion? His birthplace is unknown. His age is unknown. We know he's a dude. He stands at a pretty impressive 12 feet tall. And 553 pounds? It's oddly specific weight for not knowing much about this guy. And his mutation level is unknown. So we really don't know a lot about Mr. Dragon here. So, yeah, that's it. You just get these 3 bios for 3 of the 20 cars. And then you get a couple silhouettes here at the bottom of some of the other animals. But as far as I know, unless maybe on Mattel's website there was more of these bios, as far as I know, they only ever did these 3. And if there are more, as far as I can tell, they are lost media. So right in the middle there, you get that MBK logo again. 20 cars, limited edition, 1 of 5,000. You get the legal information here in the corner, HotWheels.com. And in this corner, your general customer service information query thing from Mattel that you get during this era. So, enough fucking about, I suppose. I've been so excited to open this thing. I've had this package, I've had these cars for, I think, 4 days at this point, and I've just been staring at them, wanting to open this so bad, but I haven't had enough time to record. So finally, we're here. I'm opening this. I'm gonna get these cars out of the packaging, devalue the fuck out of this thing. I hope I can keep this box. I hope I don't ruin it too bad. But we are opening it. I got my knife here. I'm gonna be very, very, very careful about opening this box. I may even just get the most comfortable angle for me, even though you can't really see it on camera here. Just really carefully slide my knife in and work away at the glue, decades old glue. There's a little bit of tape here as well. Cut that tape. It's not gonna open smoothly. I can tell you that for free. Oh man. I'm gonna have to be a little bit rough with it, unfortunately. There are better ways to get this packaging open, and I'm not doing it. So, it's not great. Oh well. I'll just kind of keep working at it, and hopefully not fuck things up more than I have. I think I'm attacking this from the right angle. Yes, okay. Here we go. That's not the worst. Slide her out here. Oh, I just bumped the tripod. All right. Let's put that box to the side there. Oh my God. So here it is. So we got a bit more tape at the top and bottom here to cut through. And I think, yeah, that's it. Holy crap. Let's get this the right way around and open her up. Get this in frame. Let me adjust my frame again. I've kind of ruined the shot a little when I bumped it. Here we go. Let's get these open. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mutant Biotronic Kingdom set. So let's start top left and go bottom right. So here to here. So start off with this guy. This is one of the reasons I was most excited to get my hands on this set. This is Monoposto, one of my favorite castings. I've talked about it in the last video, and you've seen it a few times already. I think Monoposto's appeared in 3 out of the 4 videos I've done so far. And this one is driven by a Rhino, as you can see on the deco there, Rhino tank. So like a robotic, militarized Rhino. So one other cool thing about this set I forgot to mention is normally when I talk about decos on this show, I call them tampos. And a tampo is basically a sticker that goes over top of the car. But there are actually a few different ways that Hot Wheels does graphics, or did graphics. And these are not actually tampos. These are what's called fusion graphics. And these were a type of graphic that kind of meshes better with the paint. It's not like a sticker. I don't know exactly how they apply the fusion graphics, but this is the exact same graphic type that was used for the Hot Wheels World Race cars. So sort of a more premium graphic type. You get these flames at the top here. It's interesting, you don't see Monopostos often with this little, I don't know what this is, like this little side area kind of riveted off like this. Normally they put like a Hot Wheels logo there, or nothing. So it's cool to see like kind of what looks to be like kind of a metallic finish on that part. You get the MBK logo up front. All of these cars have the MBK logo. It's in this nice enamel black, chrome interior, clear window piece, chrome on the base, Monoposto. You get the chrome PR5s, classic wheel type. Most of these cars, a good chunk of them at least, use PR5s, which is always a yes from me. I'm so happy to get this Monoposto in my collection. I think I said this last video. Eventually I intend on doing a full history of Monoposto and taking a look at every release, and this was definitely by far the rarest one. The one released in the most limited quantity. So I'm really happy to get my hands on this guy. This was going to be the hardest one to get, and I have it now, which is cool as hell. So I'm just going to set the cars kind of off to the side here and line them up as I take a look at them. So next up in the set, we have another, such a good choice for casting here. Power Rocket. Another one I took a look at in my last video as well, with that 1995 first edition. So this one here is, this was one of the ones in the back. This was the bull, right? So you get the bull graphics on the side there. Really, really cool. You can see like kind of what looks to be like an exposed, I don't know, spine? Or maybe that's like wings of some kind, stretching kind of towards the back of the car, towards those iconic jet thrusters on both sides. Get this really nice silver Hot Wheels logo next to the MBK logo. Of course, this is the original release of Power Rocket, the original tooling, so that front canopy does open with the weird, awkward, hugging driver on the inside. And just snaps back into place. So it's this enamel red, really nice. Black window canopy piece. Black base as well, painted black. The interior is chrome. You can see from the rocket there. It's got 3 SPs, wonderful wheel type. Doesn't look like it rolls the best, unfortunately. The axle must be a little bent. The front wheels spin okay. So that's Power Rocket. Another fantastic choice. I don't think every casting in this set is amazing in terms of the choices they went with. But here's another winner. This is Sinistra. This is the first one of these I've ever owned. Really, really nice enamel blue, dark blue. This is a hyena that drives this one, so you get hyena jump scare on the front. MBK logo. You get what looks to be kind of a leopard print on the sides, but I suppose that's more hyena print. It just kind of looks like leopard print. Reminds me a bit of, I think Accelerate said this in the Tesla's Cube review of this set, but it reminds me a lot of a Road Beasts car from World Race. Speaking of, I'm not the first person to take a look at this set on YouTube. There are 2 other reviews, I believe. I definitely recommend, if you're gonna watch mine and then watch another one, check out the Tesla's Cube review that Accelerate did over on the Tesla's Cube channel. Wonderful, wonderful review of this set. And that's what put this set on the map for me. It's what made me realize this was even a thing. Got me so interested in it. So thank you, Reese. You're a legend. PR5 wheels. Smoked out interior piece. Or window piece. Chrome interior. Black metal painted base. This is a 2003 casting, I believe, Sinistra. I think 2003 is about the newest year these castings come from, because the set itself was released in 2004. It's this really cool, compact, yet mean, fast-looking race car. I quite like Sinistra. I think, if I'm not mistaken, one moment. I think it's metal on metal. I could be wrong about that, but I know the base is metal. And I think the body may also be metal. So I think this is a metal body, metal base casting, which you don't see nowadays. If this is still around, it would have been retooled to not be metal on metal. Now here's one. Here's a casting that I did grow up with, not this release, but a similar looking version of this casting. This is Ground Effects, I believe. Yeah, Ground Effects. I had one that was in this same kind of metal flake silver, but without these tampos, without these fusion graphics. So this one's driven by a centipede. I really like this. I really like these graphics for the centipede here. He almost looks like a Chinese dragon, ancient Chinese dragon, instead of a centipede. So cool. It's got this like, not watercolor, maybe watercolor. Whatever the style of painting that those old Japanese paintings are in, maybe watercolor. It's really neat. And then on the top you get this like tribal flame type deco and the MBK logo, of course. See, it's the body is this really nice metal flake silver. The base is sort of a dark bluish purple, I guess indigo. Sort of a GameCube indigo type color, if you know what I mean. Clear orange window piece there. So the cool thing about Ground Effects, one thing I remember about my childhood one, it has this orange little latch thing here. And if you push that down, and then push down on the car, the entire body actually comes off and you get this exposed plastic base with these gold, I don't know the name of these wheels, but they're the skinny wheel type, which I don't think Hot Wheels really does much anymore. So these gold plated skinny wheels. You can see the cockpit there and the engine. All part of the base. Really, really cool. This is not, you don't see this often with castings. Even back then, you see castings with moving parts, but you don't really see castings that come apart in two separate pieces like this one does. And then if I'm not mistaken, you just slide it back. Oh, I got it wrong. You slide the front end in and then click the back end into place. And there you go. Ground Effects is a super neat casting. Not one of my favorites in this set overall, because there's so many good choices. But I have always found Ground Effects to be really interesting. So there we go. We are a fifth of the way through. So let's take a look at the second row here, with starting off with a classic. This is Shadow Jet. I believe it's Shadow Jet. You're not gonna say the name, are you? I want to say Shadow Jet. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself in the comments or in the description. This is an 80s casting, I believe. Let me check the year here. 87, so this was an 88 new model. So quite an old casting for this period anyway. Not often you see 80s castings. Really, in the first half of the 2000s, you still saw a few, but by the second half of the 2000s, most of the 80s castings were completely gone. So this is driven by, I remember this one, it's driven by a hedgehog. So all you Sonic fans, gonna get your kicks here. Hedgehog Razor. I guess it's more of a Knuckles color palette, but Knuckles is also not a hedgehog. So fuck you. We've got a little, there's like a bit of metal shavings coming off that. Or maybe it's plastic. Huh, interesting. But it's in this metal flake red body, black painted metal base. So it's another metal on metal casting. We count how many of those you see in this video. So I think we still have a few more coming later. You get this really sick dark green translucent window piece that extends throughout basically the majority of the length of the car. Interior is chrome, as you can see from the bits of the engine sticking out on the sides and on the top. There's this like bespoke green plastic bit on front here that I don't think is, because that's like a matte green, whereas this is a translucent green, so I don't think it's part of the window. That's its own piece, serving as like the pointy nose of Shadow Jet. MBK logo on that side. This is interesting. The graphics on this one are actually asymmetrical. You get the MBK logo on this side, no hedgehog, and you get the hedgehog on this side, no MBK logo. So it's interesting. 5 SPs, classic, chrome 5 SPs. Sick. Next up, I should probably move through these a little quicker so this video isn't crazy long like all my other ones are, but it, you know, not much I can do about that. They'll all be long. This guy is, I think it's Speed Shark. I'm gonna double check on that one. I've got the wiki here on my other phone. I believe this is called Speed Shark. Let me see. One moment, please. Yes, Speed Shark. So this is Speed Shark. Another, I think, 80s or early 90s casting. 1990, so it'd be a 1991 first edition. This one is driven by, I would guess, a tiger. Those look like tiger eyes and tiger stripes on the front. You may be saying, well, it's called Speed Shark. Wouldn't it be driven by a shark? And don't you worry, we have another shark-themed car incoming that I do believe is driven by a shark. We'll get to that in a bit. So this one I believe is a tiger. Really, really liking the graphics on this guy. It's got this like cool, wavy, watery blue pattern that sort of morphs into the tiger print at the front of the car with the MBK logo. So this one is a metal flake white cream kind of color. I guess the body is metal. Is it? Yeah, it's metal. So metal body, plastic black base. I think this is one of the first castings that has a plastic base in this set. 3 SP wheels. And there's the sort of, again, tribal style flame type graphics on the side with the Hot Wheels logo. And on the top, you get this opaque orange window piece, which sort of is also part of the interior back there, but the interior is also black, so there's 2 separate interior pieces. Or actually, that's probably the base. That'd be the base. The metal flake orange is the interior. There's the sides there and the bottom. It's one of the clearest examples of a tab and post design. Get the post in the back and then a pretty obvious slotted in cream colored tab at the top there. Pretty nice. Not one of my favorites. I think this is probably my least favorite so far, but I do like those graphics quite a lot. And really that's what this set's about, the cool, unique graphics. So this one here is another older casting and another one that doesn't have the name on the base. So I think this is, pull up the wiki again, I want to say Flashfire? Flashfire, yeah. So this is another kind of 3 in a row here. This is another really old casting. This one's got the 1991 date code, so 1992 is when this is from. It's a Beetle driving this one. I love Beetles, so already this has a lot going for it. You see the little Beetle guy, Beetle Beam, with the text on the back, Hot Wheels logo. Little Beetle on fire. Hopefully he's not hurting too bad. Same thing on the other side. No Hot Wheels logo though. Has one on this side, does not have one on this. Otherwise, the graphic is the exact same. You get the MBK logo up on the front with like an explosion. Pretty cool. Next to that exposed engine. So you get the kind of clear orange cockpit, orange interior, green metal body. This is a black plastic base. 5-dot wheels, 5-dot master race. This is one of, I think, only 2 cars in this set that uses 5 dots. So, you know what? I did not expect to love this casting. I've seen other versions of it in person, and I've never really been super wowed by it, but maybe I'm a little biased. I'm a big Beetle fan. I'm a big 5-dot fan. This one's winning me over. I quite enjoy it. So this one's goated, I gotta say. That is a goated car. Finishing off the second row here, we have Arachnarod. This is one I had as a kid. Not this release, but I had this car. It is a spider-themed kind of F1 style car with these crazy jet engines on the back, sort of like Power Rocket. There's a lot going on with this one. And obviously this one would be driven by a spider, naturally. No graphic for the animal itself, though. Some of these I've noticed don't have any real graphics pertaining to the animal, which I guess this one doesn't have to. The car does a good enough job of that itself. So you get a beautiful, dark red, sexy metal flake body with this gold chrome kind of spider design, which I think is also the interior. You get a clear window piece, these clear thrusters in the back, which I think are a separate interior piece, spider and the MBK logo on both sides here. You get the Hot Wheels logo down the middle. Big engines on both sides. Blue PR5s. I think this is the only car, nope, there's one of only a few cars in the set that uses non-chrome wheels. I know Ground Effects used gold, and there's 1 or 2 other cars we have yet to talk about that use painted wheels as well that aren't chrome. Black plastic base here. Arachnarod was a 2001 first edition, I believe. It says 2000 there. Really nice. The one I had as a kid was in green, so it's cool to see this one in like a much more tasteful red. We'll start putting them up there. Oh man, this one I've been looking forward to. There's a few cars that have got me really excited. Monoposto, Power Rocket, and Sinistra were 3 of them, and now we're taking a look at another one. This is the Maelstrom from this set. And guys, this color palette, holy crap. The dark purple, dark metal flake purple really does it for me. This is my favorite color. So any Hot Wheels in this color is gonna have a few points up compared to the rest. But it just so happens that Maelstrom is one of my favorite fantasy castings of all time. I had 2 Maelstroms growing up. One I think was from a track set, the other one was from a 5-pack. And I loved both of them dearly. But this is definitely my favorite. This one takes the cake. This is so nice. So like I said, you get a purple metal flake body. Chrome interior, you can see from the exhausts there and then parts of the engines. Orange window. MBK logo on the top. This Maelstrom is driven by a Mantis. You get the Mantis on the front there with like flames next to it. You get the Mantis's little grabby guys, his little knife arm things. I don't know what you'd call them. Appendages sticking out from the sides. Mantis slash on the side there in green. So not only is this one in my favorite color, but it's got some of my favorite graphics as well. Super, super nice. Chrome PR5s for the wheels. Black plastic base. Maelstrom there. This is a 2001 first edition. Iconic fantasy casting for fans of Hot Wheels media especially. This was very prominently featured in Hot Wheels Velocity X, the video game. And it's a big part of my childhood. Another car that I had as a kid, I don't have quite as many fond memories of, is Hammered Coupe here. This one is driven by... hard to tell. Give me a second. Oh no, this was the Dragon. This was another one that was on the back of the packaging. This was the Dragon that we know nothing about's car. So it's this nice dark blue body. As very fitting for a Dragon, you get a lot of sharp edges and fire, culminating towards the front of the car with the Dragon face. Pretty badass, if you ask me. And then another little Dragon face graphic with the Hot Wheels logos on both sides. You get the red window piece, orange interior, yellow interior. You can see from the engine exhausts on both sides there. It's yellow. White metal base. So this is, I think, another metal on metal. It might be plastic. No, it's metal. And this is also, I believe, metal. Hang on. Yeah. Yeah, it's metal on metal. So there's another metal on metal casting. MBK logo and the Hot Wheels logo on the back there. And there's your base. Not one of my favorite castings, to be honest. I don't like these more kind of muscly, I don't know, drag strip cars, I guess you'd call them. This looks like it would do well at a drag strip. And it's never been really my type of car. Here's another one I had as a kid. Another casting I grew up with. This is Open Roadster. A really nice looking roadster race car. I'm not exactly sure what you'd call this, but it looks like kind of an RC car style thing. So I'm assuming that design comes from a real type of race car, which is the same type of race car that this casting was based on. So this one here is driven by a wolf. Any wolf fans? I know a lot of furries will get a kick out of this one. The blood red fucking window piece represents my fucking blood red heart, my bleeding heart, as I stare at the moon. I don't know. So you get the enamel light blue body, this pretty huge red window piece, chrome interior, metal, unpainted metal base. First unpainted base I think we've seen in this whole set. Interesting. This is a 2002 new model. Cool graphics on the front here. I almost thought at first, before I remembered it was a wolf, these graphics on the front here make me think like eagle or some kind of bird. Looks like outstretched wings. But no, you have a wolf. Chrome PR5s on this guy. Forgot to mention the wheel types on the previous two cars. They're both Chrome PR5s. Nothing too crazy to write home about, just a good old classic wheel. And this is yet another metal on metal casting, metal body, metal base. Pretty cool. Not a huge fan of the color palette on that particular release. Next up is this guy here. This, I believe, is Wild Thing. Yeah, so this was a casting used in Hot Wheels World Race. as one of the 35 World Race cars, and then it's here again in MBK. So the neat thing about Wild Thing is the hood opens up and exposes that huge engine. So pretty cool. Nice little moving part. So this one is driven by a Scorpion. That looks like a human rib cage. Not really sure what part of the Scorpion that is, but maybe it's the tail. Yeah, it could actually be like the tail links, but it does look like a spinal cord, a spine. Cool. Again, very tribal-esque graphics on both sides. Hot Wheels. What does that say? It just says Scorpion. Pretty cool. I like this metal flake gold color a lot. It meshes well with the interior, which, if I could open the hood again, is a blue, really dark blue, shiny dark blue. Super sick. Kind of a purple window piece, black metal painted base. I gotta say, this casting has some real nice heft to it, due to it being yet another metal on metal casting. Can't tell what wheels those are. They're another like skinny type of wheel, but I don't think they're the same skinny wheels that Ground Effects uses. And then interestingly, as you can see, there are only 3 wheels. There's 2 in the front and then just a single one in the back. So it's a rare 3-wheeler Hot Wheels. I'll put that there. All right, just 2 rows left. Bust through these. We got Vulture Roadster next. And naturally, with the name, this one is driven by a Vulture. Accelery's pointed this out, but it's weird that out of the 2 castings with Vulture in the name, they went with Vulture Roadster, when they probably should have gone with Vulture. Personally, I like Vulture a lot more than Vulture Roadster. I took a look at one of these in the last video. It was one of the pickups I got at the expo. So not too much to say about the casting, but I can talk more about the graphics. You get a kind of goofy looking Vulture on both sides in this enamel yellow color body. Clear translucent purple base. Really, really rare that you see translucent bases on Hot Wheels cars. So that's neat, and I do like that color. I just don't know how well it really clashes with the yellow. And you get Vulture wings on both sides there in blue. MBK logo up front. There's a chrome interior, black exhaust pipe running down the middle of the car. 5 SPs. That's really all I gotta say about Vulture Roadster. So next up is the big one. This is the fan favorite from this set, and might be up there as one of my favorites. I think the Maelstrom is probably my favorite overall, but I mean, you can't hate this slingshot. Oh my god. This is not the rarest slingshot that they made, but it is one of the rarest. I think the rarest slingshot they ever made was the Z36 slingshot, included with the Highway 35 complete sets. Only 1,000 of those were ever made, where only 5,000 of these were ever made. So this is a beautiful pre-retool slingshot with all of its hanging spoiler glory. This is such a cool casting. I forget if I've talked about slingshot. I think I mentioned it in my Trackstars video, but I haven't really gotten a chance to fully talk about it. I have another video planned where I'll be going in a little more depth about slingshot. But this is such a wonderful casting for this set. It is driven by an eagle. So the animal that I thought Open Roadster was driving is actually being driven by Slingshot, or drives Slingshot, I should say. You get the eagle up front there. Pretty badass looking eagle. Looks like it could be a good meme animal, good meme image. top text, bottom text on them. Smoked out window piece here. Enamel orange body. Metal base. Black plastic metal. Sorry, black painted metal base. Hot Wheels logo on both sides. Eagle on the top graphics there with some cool looking, I guess those are talons here at the end. Those are eagle talons. MBK logo up front below Mr. Eagle himself. And this is just like, oh man, this is just one of the most like tasteful, nice looking castings in this whole set. Definitely the most expensive casting from this set too on its own. Most of these go for only $2-3 on their own. This one goes pretty consistently for between $30 and $40 whenever I see them go for sale. So the set was worth it just to get one of those brand new on its own. Next up, we have Shredster. This is such a nice color. Holy crap. Getting this out of the packaging, I gotta say. This coloring is super nice. I've never owned a Shredster before too, so it's cool to get one of these in my collection. So this one's driven by a vampire bat. See that on the side there? He looks kind of... he looks kind of goofy. And you get the body here in this magenta, I think you'd call that, like a dark pink, dark purple for this outside bit with green, bluish green accents and some orange as well. Orange window piece, what looks to be a black interior, I think. Plastic chrome base. Well, it's actually half, the base is kind of also the metal ending bits here of the body. Like half the base, this bit in the middle is chrome plastic, and then the whole rest of it is metal. Really cool, very complex looking casting. Sort of reminds me a bit of Crazy Eights. Not Crazy Eights. Power pipes. Power pistons, which I have not taken a look at on this channel yet, but I would not be surprised if the same designer made both, because it does give me the same sort of vibe as power pistons. Really cool. Neat choice for a casting for a vampire bat as well. It does kind of look a little Dracula-ish. It looks like something that's Dracula would drive. Haha. Blah, blah, blah. Remember when I mentioned there would be another shark type casting in this set? Well, this is that. This is Shark Cruiser. Another very old, very timeless Hot Wheels casting. They're still making this guy today. I believe they're still making this guy today. And I think this one's from like the 80s. Where's the date? 86. So this was a 1987 casting, which I think would, under normal circumstances, make this the oldest casting in the set, but we do have one more that I have yet to take a look at that is quite a bit older. And this is Shark Cruiser. It's got an interesting base color. I wanted to point this out as well. The base is like a lilac purple, which you really don't see often. I think the Trackstar's Anthracite that I looked at a few videos ago also had like a lilac purple base. It's interesting. You get a dark blue enamel body. The graphics end up taking up most of it. Naturally, this one is driven by a shark. Obviously, with the shape of this thing, if it wasn't driven by a shark, I would have to talk to whoever made the graphics for this and have a very stern conversation with them. So you get the little cockpit there. The interior is chrome, as you can see from the shark teeth and the cockpit and the engine. Really cool graphics. You can see kind of an exposed, there's a lot of bone in this set. A lot of the graphics incorporate bone. I guess that's the mutation. Like the skin's falling off of some of these animals. And they're mutating. It's kind of gross. And then you get the shark face on the front where the actual shark is. Really neat. I think this is the only car in this set that uses saw blade wheels, which is a long retired wheel type that I love so much. Look at how cool those look. Saw blades. I think this is the first time I've looked at saw blades on the channel. Love these. Iconic wheel from the 90s and 2000s. Here we are. We're on the last 4 cars in the set. I'll have to make some more room here. I'm going to move everything up a bit. Give me a little more space to put these last 4 cars aside. Let's start off with this guy here, which is immediately got some heft to it. This is Turbulence. So this is the one driven by the Unicorn. And wow, that is sick, man. I wasn't sure how I felt about this one at first, just seeing it in the package, but that may be some of the best graphics on the entire set. That is so cool. Very tasteful. Nice, like, cool ass silhouette of a unicorn. Unicorn on the side. There he is again with the Hot Wheels logo. Same thing on this side. No Hot Wheels logo though. It's in this like brown, almost brown red color. There's the MBK logo. With this gold interior piece, which really complements the brown. I gotta say, it looks quite nice, these 2 colors together. I'm not normally a big fan of brown, but I think this looks fantastic. Gold Y5 wheels. So I think this is the only car in the set that uses Y5s. So quite a few wheel types represented here. You'll love to see it. Turbulence, this is a 1999? 1999, so this is a 2000 first edition, I believe. Really nice. Metal on metal as well. That's why it's got some nice heft to it. That one may be my biggest surprise from the set. Really did not expect to like that one as much as I now do. This one, however, I knew I was going to love. This is Side Draft in this sandy, matte, scratchy sand color. This like sand gold, orange, yellow, whatever you'd call it. Side Draft there. That is a plastic base, so that's a metal body. I really like how they got the texturing on this one done. It's I think this is what the Dune Rats cars from Highway 35 feel like. Really unique. The animal, what is the animal for this one? Crocodile. So this is a crocodile. And there's the big gaping crocodile jaw clamping down on you. You would not want to see this thing coming at you. The MBK logo in its mouth. Right on the interior, right on the front window piece too. Kind of an interesting place to put that. So you get the orange window pieces on both sides. Gray interior. Black base, like I said. Red interior as well. So you get both. I can't tell what the actual inside of the car, where the cockpit is, what that is. If it's the gray or the red, but 2 different colors for the interior piece. And you get Hot Wheels up there with some crocodile scales and crocodile teeth. This is another just wonderful early 2000s fantasy casting. Another one that was in World Race as well. There's only a handful of these cars that got Fusion Graphic releases in World Race in 2003 and then MBK in 2004. This is one of them. I'm trying to think of which others. So it was Side Draft, Power Rocket, Wild Thing, Slingshot. I think that's it. I could be wrong. I could be missing one or two, but if I remember my World Race cars, I believe that's all of them. So second to last, and one that I'm not too terribly excited for. This is Salt Flat Racer, I believe. Let me just double check on that. Salt Flat Racer, yeah. It's another kind of older style, muscly, drag strippy car. I suppose it's called Salt Flat Racer because it's meant to be a car really good at racing on in the salt flat, the desert salt flats. It's all right. This one's driven by a swordfish. Oh yeah, he's right there. I didn't notice the actual swordfish head sticking out. I just thought that was kind of a weird looking pattern. Then I really looked at it, and yeah, no, that is a swordfish sticking out there with the MBK logo on him. Swordfish lettering at the top there. It's in this dark enamel blue, black, kind of shiny metallic base, chrome interior. I do like the exhausts on this car, how there's like sort of these up facing ones, and then there's on the other side there's these two that kind of go towards the back of the car. That is neat. I do respect the look of this one. It's just not a personal preference thing, but I get this is an iconic casting that a lot of people like. Purple window piece, like I said, chrome interior. 5 SPs, another nice 5 SP wheel type there. And yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one. Not one of my favorites, but absolutely a cool get. And they're no longer fitting on camera, so let me kind of make more space here, just so I can fit those last two. We'll get Salt Flat Racer here, and let's take a look at this last car. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit of a confusing one for me, but you gotta respect the choice. This is by far the oldest casting that made it into this set, and it's the final one we're taking a look at. This is the ever iconic Sweet 16 legend, the Diora 1. Now, like I said, this set came out in 2004, so why it is that they used the Diora 1 when they could have used the Diora 2, I don't know. I'm not sure why. Maybe they didn't want specifically the Diora 2 competing with the World Race version of itself. I don't know. The Diora 2 was the protagonist car for World Race, so maybe there's something there, but I wouldn't be able to tell you for sure. So this is the Diora 1. This is from 1968. You can see 1967 on the base, along with the Hot Wheels Vintage logo, which you don't see anymore. This is a metal-on-metal casting, metal body, metal base, unpainted metal base, really nice green metal flake painted body. So 1968 was actually the very first year for Hot Wheels. I referred to this one as one of the Sweet 16, meaning that it was one of the very first 16 cars to be released. In 1968, there were only 16 cars, and the Dodge Diora, now known as the Diora 1, was among them. So this is one of the first 16 Hot Wheels castings that were made all the way back in the late 60s. And this one is driven by a snake. So there's really, really cool snake graphics here on the truck bed. Now you'll notice these two little plastic divots. Most releases of the Diora 1, much like the Diora 2, come with plastic surfboards in these slots. But for some reason, this one does not. Most likely because they wanted to put a nice big graphic here on the truck bed and didn't want the surfboards obscuring it. See snake on the roof. That same snake decal on both sides, along with the MBK logo. I really like this one, mostly because of this color. It's really nice. One of my favorite colors a Hot Wheels can be in is this metal flake green. 5-dot wheels, 5-dot Master Race is the only other car in the set that uses 5 dots. And I think the Diora does look the nicest with 5 dots. I don't think they make the Diora one anymore, aside from like very special anniversary sets. I think this is mostly a retired casting. Interior looks to be white with a red window piece. Yep, interior is white because of the area where the surfboards normally go. And yeah, that is the Diora 1. The oldest casting in this set, and a really, really cool get. This is actually the very first time that I've owned a Diora 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is everything. That is all 20 cars in the Mutant Biotronic Kingdom set. We'll get a kind of shot of all of them here in one. There they are. And yeah, thank you all so much for sticking with me on this one. This was by far the most interested I've been to make one of these videos. Not that they haven't all been interesting, but I've been so excited to get this particular package in to cover these cars and show them off for, you know, one of the first times on YouTube. Only the 3rd video on these cars ever made. So I'm preserving history here to an extent. Thank you all so much for watching. I won't take up any more of your time. I appreciate you sticking around this far. If you enjoyed this and appreciated the history here with these cars, drop the video a like. I do these weekly, so if you want to hear me talk about Hot Wheels some more and eventually play video games, I promise I'm going to get back to those, I promise. Hit that subscribe button. I'd love to get a fan base going for this sort of thing. Also, I will remember to link the Tesla's Cube review of Mutant Biotronic Kingdom in the description. That is a fantastic video that I highly recommend you all watch after this one. And yeah, don't really have much more to say. I'll catch you guys next week with another video. I'm not sure quite what that is yet, but I do have a few ideas. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you had a great day. Hope you had a great time. And take care.